Well, I think I got the exhaust pretty much done on this thing, at least the hard part. So I built a crossover. For this first piece that goes under the oil pan, I just used flex pipe, and I'm going to take it to an exhaust shop and have them bend up a proper piece for that section. But I was able to use the flex pipe and get something mocked up to make sure it's all going to work. And then it goes to the second permanent section that I did. So it disconnects right there. I didn't weld that. I'm just going to put a clamp on it so that I'll be able to get this out with the engine still in the car. So if you jack up the front, it ever so barely wiggles out. This section that goes back, it does come out. So you can pull it all out in two pieces, no big deal. So that worked out really nice. So got that first section, runs under the oil pan here. So like I say, I will get that replaced with a proper piece. I just don't have a bender or patience, so running that for now. This way I can get the car on the road and tuned in, and then I can just drive it to the exhaust shop instead of having to get it towed or whatever. On this piece, I built a bracket so it bolts to the exhaust manifold stud on this side. I was gonna put two. I'm glad I only did one because this supports it plenty, but it also still wiggles just a little bit, so I can line up the pipe on the other end. So you can kind of see down there, it turns down and then it pops out down here, and I got it nice and level with the frame rail. And you can kind of see under here, come out pretty even to go through this cross member hump. So this whole thing comes out. If you unbolt the bracket on the exhaust manifold and then you disconnect it from that front section, this all weasels out down through this way. It comes out pretty good. And the passenger side is just a 90 off the manifold, and it lines up basically perfect. I'm happy with that. I did a little bit of clearancing because the thing wants to hit the cross member. Not too big of a deal. I think I'm just gonna peen the pipe a little bit. See how that works. Probably not gonna be able to get to these transmission pan bolts with the exhaust on it, but the passenger pipe is going to be in the way, not the driver's side, so it'll make it pretty easy. If I ever need to pull the pan, I just unbolt it from the manifold, and I'll probably have a hanger kind of close to the cross member back here, and should come off pretty easily if I ever need to service the transmission. So shouldn't be too big of a deal, but I think it came out pretty good. And like I say, it goes in and out pretty easy. So I was able to finagle it to come apart. So anyways, that's where we're at now. So I gotta finish up that passenger side one, get it to clear the cross member, and then once that's bolted up, slip a couple pieces of pipe on there, run them back, and I should be able to fire this thing up and run it a little longer without freaking out the neighbors too bad.